in this type of community? What if I can have this? That became a thought in my mind. So that became a vision that I went after for myself then. Because I don't want to live where I live. I want to live in these type of environments. I want for my kids to be able to go to these type of schools, these type of places. That's the path that person don't know that they did. That's the path that they put me on by blessing an organization and that organization blessing me. So just think about that. Think about that when you are thinking about who you're going to give that overflow to. That you're going to bless somebody with, not just Dawkins. Because I was very small and I had a late growth spurt in college. So I was a smaller guy. Not a lot was expected of me. Envision that dude going to that FCA, seeing stuff he had never seen before. And then coming up with that vision, that dream that he wanted, and to chase after so bad that he began to separate himself from friends and for other people that would prevent him from having that vision come true. That's what that person helped me do. So that's what you'll do to somebody. You will give them hope, the power of hope. You're disappointing him. So I didn't necessarily play for the audience, the fans. I did. I loved the back and forth. I would give you energy, you would give me energy. We played tennis during game day. I loved it, right? I would make a play. I would scream, and you would scream. It was bad. I loved it. But ultimately, I'm telling you, it was for an audience of one. That God had given me the ability to do what I did, and I wanted to go out and demonstrate everything that I have. I'm going to give to you on this field, Father. I'm going to go out and glorify your name by how I play this game. And then at the end of the game, when all eyes are upon me, I'm going to turn their eyes on you. Words that you memorized for specific things. Matter of fact, this is what I did. I'm going to give you another. What I did was I went down some of the things that I was struggling with. And I looked up verses for each one of those things. Whatever it is, I had an anger issue. Right? I had an issue with anger, flipping off the handle. And the Bible tells us that anger rests in the bosom of fools. Right? I don't want to be a fool. I don't know about you. I don't like being a fool. I don't want to be a fool. So anger, you can't rest with me. I don't want you. We're not resting together. You can't hang out with me. No anger. Go somewhere. No. So that's the conversation I would have with myself. But when you have those powerful words and you say them, whatever you may be going through, guess where the answer is? It's in the Bible. You don't believe us, you're remembering things in a unhealthy way. I won't say wrong. In an unhealthy way. That's where depressive thoughts come. And the more that you meditate on that thought, what your brain does, I'm not going to go too deep into neuroscience. What your brain does is there's a DJ. I call it a DJ in your brain. Your DJ will bring up more hits, write down the same thing that you're thinking about. So when you have that conversation with that person, and that person makes you mad, then the more you meditate on that thing, your brain will bring up other times that somebody else did that. Then somebody else did that. Back in 10 years ago, this other person did that. So it makes where you are worse than it really is. Anybody in here could think that I'm supposed to be on this world, and the only thing that I'm supposed to be doing is just surviving. God didn't make survivors. We are thrivers. We're supposed to thrive with the Word of God. This is for everybody. But for those of you who are less seasoned, I'll say it that way, less seasoned. I'm 48, so I'm more seasoned. There's others in here that are less seasoned. The greatness that you have seen me display in my life on the playing surface and as I'm doing this in ministry, that greatness was in me when I was in high school. It was already in me. See, a coach a counselor, they will never bring out anything in you other than what God has already put in you. So that greatness was already in me. I just didn't know it yet. So please understand, sitting in your seat right now, in your seat, is a measure of greatness waiting to come out. In what area? I don't know. You will find out when you start to go. When you come up with that vision, when you come up with that plan, and you just trust God, lean into Him. Know that He's directing your path. Know that He has better for me. The Bible talks about your latter days being greater than your former days. That means we're always supposed to be increasing, getting better in some area in our lives. And we can, doggone it. Don't think that the life that you have is, if it's one that's depressed, is where you're going to live. No, don't live in that state. You don't have to. You don't have to. When I got counseling and I took medication for a little while, what that did was it brought my emotions down. And when it brought my emotions down, I began to hear on another level from my vertical relationship with the Lord. Some of the things I needed to start doing and some of the things I needed to stop doing. So every day now, since then, I've increased along the way. But I pray, and I'm going to give you these things. I pray, I read, I meditate, and I journal every morning. So if you haven't journaled, journal. Get out a book and journal. And when you journal, journal is not just negative stuff either. Journal, you can journal your gratitude. Journal the things and the people you're thankful for. Journal the success that you want to have in life. Use that as an outlet for your emotions. Because know this, that God is not a God that begins to prepare things when you get into stuff. Matter of fact, our tomorrow is God's yesterday. Our tomorrow is God's yesterday. So the things that you need and the things that you need to be, everything that He wants you to be, He's already done them. They're already ready. He's not waiting for something to happen. No, you know what He's waiting on? You. He's waiting on you to trust Him with all of it, not most of it, not some of it, with all of it. And know that He's going to direct you. Know that there's greater in you. And know that ultimately, and this is the last thing,